welcome to the channel. I'm Chris, this is Dirty Trucker 08, and today is a bit of a special occasion. I have Austin Drake and his phenomenal Chevy truck. You guys are going to love what you see. I know I have already. It's probably the best example of how a vehicle can be that I personally have ever seen. It is phenomenal. You have done a great job.
Thank you.
With this thing. But he's going to tell us a little bit about it. So give us the story of the truck. Where were you whenever you first laid eyes on it?
I was actually probably 15, I think, and of course my dad actually found the truck from a buddy that he knew, sitting out in the field. Paid $800 or $900 for it, I think, back then, and we drug it home, rebuilt the motor, tranny, and put a little like a $700 paint job on it.
Now, what was the motor and tranny in it then? Is it still the same motor and trans now?
It was just a little 350 and had a turbo 350 transmission. I mean, I wasn't getting in trouble in it, that's for sure. It wouldn't run very fast, but yeah, we brought it home and rebuilt it, and when I turned 16, this is the truck that I had when I was 16. Back then, I mean, it looks totally different now, but I thought it was big stuff, back then.
I've seen the pictures. If I haven't edited them in already, you will see the pictures from when he bought it. It's come a long way.
Yeah, it's definitely.
All right, so with the way it is now, let's start at the bottom. Wheels and tires. What are they? Where did you get them?
They come from Curtis Speed Equipment.
Okay.
Out in Orange, California. Mike Curtis. He was on overhauling American Hot Rod. Hell of a guy. Called him up, got the wheels, and a few months later I was needing a steering wheel, and got the steering wheel to match the wheels exactly from him. So
the steering wheel is a one-off, right?
Yeah,
it is a one of a kind. Nobody else has your steering wheel.
No, he told me that's the only steering wheel that he's ever made to match these wheels.
Right on. All right, so moving up from the wheels, suspension and brakes. How close is that to stock, and how much have you tweaked on that?
Oh, I used a CPP big brake kit, whatever. Drilled and slotted rotors, disc brakes all the way around. Springs, I done like a 2 and a 3, something like that, and put drop spindles on it. It's basically setting like a 5 in the front and 7-inch lower in the back, whatever, than stock.
Rear end. You change out the gears. You're running the stock
rear
axle. What are you going on there?
Yeah, it had the stock 308 posi track in it, and with the transmission that I went with, I done a little bit of different gearing, put some 342s in it, and it's a 342 stock rear end posi track. Yeah.
So still get both of them going.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she'll definitely light them up.
All right, so going back up to the front end, what have you done to this motor? It is gorgeous from the outside. What's on the inside?
Oh, I really haven't done anything to it. Actually, and this is I don't think I've told you anything about it, but went to a car show, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue down in Arkansas several years ago.
I was actually down there several years ago on a Harley, but that's
we took my dad's car down there to show, and they were putting or doing a raffle. They was raffling off a GM crate motor. So walking through there, and I said, "Hey, why don't you put some money in?" And it was a $5 raffle. We dropped $20 in. And we were sitting there talking, and all of a sudden they called my wife's name out. She won. It's just a GM crate motor.
So for $20, you got the motor in this.
Yep.
I hadn't heard that story. I've heard all sorts
Yeah.
of stories, and we're going to try and get to several of them on this video.
Yeah, it was
But
pretty
I
crazy.
hadn't heard that one.
So I come home. Well, actually, I was looking for another project to put the motor in. So this thing was running. It was almost ready to start driving, and I got it home. Was looking for another project. We ended up pulling the motor out and transmission, and I started over again.
From the bottom up again.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch gears just a little bit. Now, your interior.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get that done? It is phenomenal.
There's a place over in Aurora. It's called Charlie's Custom Upholstery.
Okay.
I actually work with Charlie and seen some of his work, and absolutely loved it. They do awesome work. And I kind of had some ideas what I wanted, and I don't know. When I dropped it off, I said, "You guys just take it, do whatever." I told you what I wanted, so they went ahead and that's their idea. That wasn't none of mine.
Now, how close is this to your original mental picture of this is what I want it to look like when it's done? Is it reminiscent a little bit, or is it just
A
more
complete
than
360?
more than you could have done, or more than you could have imagined?
Oh
it
yeah,
being?
yeah.
So
What my vision was kind of plain and blah, boring.
So they took it and just really ran with
Yeah.
the freedom to
Oh, yeah.
to do what they wanted.
Yeah.
Well, it's phenomenal. I mean, clearly you're seeing it now. I mean, this interior is amazing. Now, this isn't just a trailer queen, though, right?
Oh no.
You actually use it.
Yep.
Because if, you can see right here, this is the odometer. This is how many miles are still on it right now.
Yep.
And how long has it been since you put those miles on it?
I got the truck done May 24th last year, 2019. I think the 23rd or 4th. I got it back from the upholstery shop and was out here day and night, like all night, all day, trying to get this thing buttoned up. May 24th, it debuted at the NSRA show in Springfield. And that's
So we're basically just a little over a year.
yeah.
So he's put that many miles on it in just a year. So all you guys out there, they're like, oh, it's just a trailer queen. He doesn't actually do anything with it. It's not a daily by any means.
Oh no.
But for something you're going to run on the weekends, that's a decent amount of miles. I don't think I put that many on my car.
Well, I'm gonna say probably in a year's time. What is that? Probably 50 yards, 100 yards where my trailer is.
It's not very far. The trailer, it's just out there.
It's gonna take a lot of trips from the shop to the trailer to get 800 and some miles on it.
Exactly.
So yeah, I built it to have fun with. What's the use in having something if you ain't gonna drive it and thrash on it,
Now, speaking of building, am I wrong, or is this hood a little bit short?
It's been cut on a little bit.
Just a little bit. And the cab itself, I didn't notice. I don't know if you guys have noticed yet or not. The cab is actually chopped some too.
It is. It's got just a subtle chop. We took a little bit out of it, and I'm not going to say what we done, but
Doesn't want to give away all of his secrets.
That's right.
You'll have to come to the shows and actually check out the truck in person.
yeah.
Now, the bed on this thing. Why did you want to go with wood over just because it had a metal bed in it originally, correct?
Yep.
All right. What got you onto the wood? Just wanted a different look, or what were you thinking there?
Just something different. I mean, I've never really seen a lot of high-end beds, I guess, per se. You see a lot of steel out there. When I done this truck, I wanted to do something different, just and I ended up going with a wood floor just because I like the way the wood grain looks, and and I think we ended up putting like 7 or 8 coats of clear on it, and wet sanding them, buffing them.
It's shiny,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, so it turned out a lot better than I figured it would.
It's
Yeah.
phenomenal. And the fuel filler cap, is that, what kind of, is it just a pop in, or how does that?
Yeah, you just push it down and the button pops up and fill it in there. We took the gas tank out from behind the seat and relocated it back there, you know.
A whole lot more room for stereo stuff.
Oh, yeah.
As you guys can see here. And I'm sure it sounds awesome
Oh,
in there. I'm a bit of a stereo guy, as those that follow my channel know. But
Yeah, it kicks pretty hard. Yeah.
so what, stereo-wise, what all's in here?
It's got an Alpine CD player, which I know them things are kind of outdated, but hey, it does have Bluetooth and all that, so.
Connect your phone and keep going, that's
Yep.
all you need.
Oh yeah. It's got two 6.5 Infinity Kappas in the front there in the console,
Mhm.
and then I've got two 6x9 and two 10-inch subs, and they're Infinity Kappas also.
It's good to stick with the same brand, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, and I think I liked them because it's kind of got a brown shade to them, so it kind of matched.
Trying to coordinate.
I'm trying to keep
coordinate
everything
the
matched.
stereo with
Yep.
everything else.
Yep.
Now I have noticed that you've gone through and there's LEDs everywhere on this thing.
Yep.
Are the headlights LED too, or are they
No, they're
HID? What are you running there?
No, they're just a halogen or whatever. Yep.
Say they're definitely not stock.
No. No.
Now the paint job on this thing clearly isn't the way you got it.
No.
How many hours has been spent in body work and prep work
I couldn't
and
tell you.
paint job and polish?
A lot. There's been a lot of hours on the body. It's I mean, it's been stripped, cut, chopped, pancaked. You know, you name it. Welded up the stake pockets. You know, I mean.
Everything under the hood looks smooth and just super clean.
Yeah, we smoothed the firewall.
Anything that didn't need to be there is
Yeah.
gone.
I didn't want a lot of crap hanging off the, you know, the firewall, whatever. And so when I got the truck back, the inside was done, and I had to go through and delete all the bracketry, and it's got an aftermarket air system in it. Vintage Air, or Old Air Products, I think is the name of it. And really, when you put it on, it looks trashy. I mean, it like sandwiches, you know, in between the firewalls, and I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
So I got everything home, shaved or marked out, you know, what I wanted taken off, and flush mounted my brake booster and all that. And then I put the plate that the Old Air mounts to.
Mm-hmm.
I set it up there and traced it out, cut it out, and put it in there and welded it, so it's not a big eyesore. It's all flush mounted.
Gotcha.
And then bolted everything from the inside. So basically what's hanging outside is flipped and inside. So it's all inside under the dash and everything.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Just to give it that nice, sleek, clean look.
Now, is there anything that I haven't asked you about the truck yet that you want to make sure that everybody knows? So I started at the bottom, kind of worked my way up through it. Did I miss something?
There's no, I tried to tuck the wires, you know. I didn't, like you see under there, you know, you pop the hood, all you see is the motor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want anything, you know, any eyesores of any kind. But a lot of people ask me where the battery is.
I didn't even think to look for the battery on this.
Yeah.
All right, I've got to ask.
Most of the time they're here, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or they're
In
the
bed.
back or
Yeah.
something. Well, in order to clean this thing up, I was trying to figure out where to put it, and I couldn't. I didn't know where to put it. Well, finally I figured out, or found a box and I think they're off the 48 Chevys to 54s, whatever, the drop down boxes.
Yep.
So I bought one, brought it home, and the bed was sitting on it, just roughed in, and I'm sitting there going around trying to figure out where I could put this box. Well, finally I got up under the truck, and on the frame, right at the front of the bed, next, in that corner, up underneath, I was able to mount that box. So the box is like right under the bed, and you don't see it.
I didn't even think to look for it, and I've been sitting out here looking at this thing for several hours today.
When you get home, go through pictures and see if you can find it.
I'm gonna have to. We're all doing this together. We're trying to figure out where the box is. I don't even know if I got the camera down low enough to possibly have seen that. We'll find out in post. All right, so on the glass work, did you get the glass shaved whenever you did the drop, or the chop on it? Did you get all new glass made for it? How did that happen? Or where did you get that done?
Well, it started out, I tell you what, every piece and part that you see on this thing, minus the body panels and cab and bed, was in my spare bedroom. So I bought my glass.
Now, is this the spare bedroom with all of the trophies?
Yeah.
So as you're seeing now, this is where his truck's been.
So I went ahead and bought glass,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wanted to build a factory truck per se.
Yeah.
Well, when the body shop got a hold of it, he's a big custom guy, Carl Casey Customs.
Mm-hmm.
He was bound and determined to chop it. I'm like, no, So here I've got this glass. I don't want to chop it, and it's sitting there, Well, he calls me one day and he goes, "Come here, I need you to look at something." Well, I get there and the top of my cab's ripped off. And he's like, "No, it'll be fine." Well, I get it all done. Well, now my glass don't work.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to, I found a guy out in Winfield, Kansas, Bears Glass Company in Winfield. Tony Eastman, super nice guy. Called him up and said, "Hey, I've got a truck here. Can't find anybody to chop it or to cut the glass." I said, "I've got brand new glass here. It can't be cut. I'm screwed." And I said, "I don't know. I can't find anybody, and I hear that you're pretty good." He's like, "I think we can do it." So I loaded it up, 6 hours, went out there and dropped it off, and 2 weeks later, went and picked it up.
So he was able to take the stock glass and cut everything to fit.
Yep.
I've seen videos of people doing that online, and it makes me cringe every time they do that first.
Yep.
If you haven't watched a video on cutting automotive glass, just look around. Do a quick search after we're done with this video. Don't stop now.
Yep.
It's interesting to watch for sure.
Yeah, it is. I couldn't do it.
No, I've tossed around the idea of wanting to chop something in the future, and that was the biggest hurdle on exactly how do you do it.
Yeah.
Knowing to know where to go, know who to talk to. Maybe I'll be making a drive to Kansas myself.
Yeah, this project wasn't an overnight project. It took me off and on, I had the money, didn't have the time, or I had the time and not the money.
Always.
And
it never seems to line up.
Yep. Well, I'd work on it and I'd get aggravated and pissed off, and then I'd walk away from it. Then I'd get to thinking about ideas, and then I'd start on it again. I'd go to a car show and get fired up on it, and it took me a little over 9 years to build it, off and on. But I didn't want to throw it together. I wanted it to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm one of them guys, if it's not perfect, it's not good enough. And I don't know, I'm sure there's some flaws in it, but to me it's perfect.
Well, it's pretty damn close to perfect, I would say. I mean, clearly you guys have been looking all around it while we've been talking. What do you think? throw a comment below on how slick this truck actually is. All right, now I know you've had this thing a little over a year now since it's been done. What shows have you been to since then? And which shows do you wish you hadn't gone to since then?
Let's see. Well, it's been to the NSRA show last year.
Mm-hmm.
Been to some local shows, around here, pretty close to home. It's been to Salina, Kansas, to the KKOA Lead Sled Spectacular. That was a pretty awesome show. I'm not a lead sled guy, or wasn't a lead sled guy, until I went out there and I want a 50 Merc so bad I can't stand it.
But don't we all?
Yeah, but we went to Salina and picked up a top 25 out of like 2,500 cars, and there's a class out there. They want 68 and below.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a new class out there. It's like the NCC, new concept custom. Basically, they're wanting you to take a late model car and cut it up, customize it.
Yeah.
And went out there last year and with a top 25, and we done the new concept custom champion. So we won that one.
That is awesome.
And went to where did we go? Fort Smith, Arkansas, to a Daryl Starbird show, Rats and Riches or something like that, and got best paint and outstanding radical custom, I think.
And you have an autographed award from that show, correct?
Not in Fort Smith.
It wasn't from that show.
The trophy I got that Daryl Starbird personally signed was, and he's like king of customs.
Yes.
That was in Tulsa back in February this
Okay.
year. I went up there. They've got a huge show in Tulsa. It's awesome. There's rockabilly and rat rods and you name it. Anything from rat rods to rust buckets to elegant cars, whatever.
I like my ratty rust stuff. I would be cringing every time I open the garage door.
But that award that I got there, it was probably the most one, I think, the best one I think I've ever got. I've spent so much time and God knows how much money. I mean, I know how much money because I have a black book that I've wrote down everything in. And to go and be part of that show and get chosen to compete in the Fine Nine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was like 18 of us, I think, 18 or 20, something like that, out of 2,000 plus cars in this whole big thing.
That is impressive.
So out of the 18, so I got in to where I was competing in the Fine Nine, is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So the top 18 cars, all of us are cut and dry. We're all going to be in the top 9. So that award, I got picked for the Fine Nine. So now I'm even with the top 9 cars in that show, or whatever. Go for the gold.
Yeah.
It's $10,000 cash prize. Well, I come up short on it. I was 1 win away from it, and I mean 1 win away.
Oh.
If you're not first, you're last. But to put my heart and soul and money and just throw my heart into this thing, and to be picked, a Fine Nine, and be able to hang with some of the big cars, top cars. I mean, that was speechless. That's probably the happiest I think I've ever been in my life. That I can actually do something if I put my mind to it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody bitches at me because I'm too anal, but
you want it done the way you want it done.
Yeah.
And clearly, the way you want it done is phenomenal.
Well, thanks.
And while we're at it, if you guys haven't hit that like button, go ahead and tap that thing. make sure you subscribe whenever we're done here. And share with your friends. Everybody wants to see this. Everybody wants this.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I love this truck. It is awesome. But I definitely want to thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you.
I appreciate you letting me come down and make a video on it. This thing is awesome. Hopefully you guys are able to see what I'm seeing here. I'm going to try my best to put this together so that you guys, can appreciate the hard work that he's put into this thing. All right, well.
Yeah, if the old girl, man, if she could talk, she could tell a lot of stories.
Well, that's what we're here for, is to find out the stories.
A lot of good ones and some bad ones, but
we don't need to know the bad ones. Nobody wants to remember those. But I am going to shake your hand one more time.
Yeah.
I do appreciate you
not a
letting me
problem.
come down, hang out, and hopefully do justice to this thing.
Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
More than the thankfulness is all on my side. I truly appreciate your time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what you saw. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you next time.
See ya.
Is there anything else you want to throw into it? Anything we've missed? Or anything you're like, I didn't talk about this?
I don't know, really.
Because I've got all the B-rolls and I've got easily a half hour of us talking now.
I don't guess.
Okay.
If you can think of anything, give me a holler. And
I didn't even think to look for the battery. I'm just befuddled that I didn't even think, hey, where's his battery? Alright, well, I'm going to shut down the cameras.
before you turn the lights out, you'll look. Yeah, right here. Nah.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I think it looks good on the bottom.
Of course, you can't really see it, but and that's kind of what I was after. I wanted to see it, but I ceramic coated, ceramic coat headers or whatever. You know how all my hinges and everything, they're factory hinges, but they look
better. Yes.
aluminum.
Yeah.
I had my driveline ceramic coated to make it look like polished aluminum.
Nice.
And my transmission is ceramic coated to look like polished aluminum.
your fork still holds. Your place in your bed, showing no regret. Close your eyes to hide your lies, roll the dice. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence, letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. You're playing it cool, bending all the rules, talking way too loud, and you're talking rude. You're playing a game, driving me insane. Your heart is back, and it's a fact, no turning back. You got me tiptoeing around